You are entering ENC's Pod of Awesomeness.
So after 2 weeks of best of episodes,
yeah, best of in quotations. And
yeah,
I'm not sure
air quotes.
how. Yeah, air quotes, best of. Although we've had over 100 episodes now, so there's that.
We have. Our 100th episode was Tommaso Ciampa, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
we didn't even know it.
Good reaction,
but it was a good little get there, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
good little get. So how you been,
and you,
Bird?
Yeah, been all right.
I was on vacation, surrounded by 12 kids. Technical difficulties ironed out.
Right. Yeah, no, I was going to talk about our technical difficulties. You know, we apologize for that. Obviously, we both had issues with our units, with our systems, and we actually we both got them fixed on the same day. The technician came out, fixed us up, and here we are.
Yeah, yeah. And the Dell technician who I talked to, as a matter of fact, Todd, big fan of the pod. And
really?
Yeah, he even emailed me with a hashtag at the end, the ENC show that totally reeks of awesomeness for life.
Look at that.
Brother. So
he knows his stuff.
Yeah, so if he's listening, which I'm assuming he is, thank you. We're up and running.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to hear us pretty bad. He's like, we got to get this guy's shit fixed.
Gotta get this thing fixed. Hey, and this thing, you can subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Android app, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, however you listen to these goddamn things. Don't forget to leave us a
5-star frog/review.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get rolling here, I got a question for you, Jay.
Sure.
How'd you sleep last night? Huh? You spend the night tossing and turning. You know, where you tossing and turning, you're sweating. You're all cramped up, and your crippled old body was all gnarled up like an old tree in your bed. Is that what happened?
Pretty much.
Yeah. You've been waking up with a stiff neck and back pain from all those bumps and falling off those ladders in your driveway, right?
Well, it used to be that way, but not since I've been sleeping on a purple mattress, brother.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're struggling to get a good night's sleep, you gotta try a Purple mattress. The founders of Purple are two brothers who have been developing cushioning technology for 30 years on things like medical beds and wheelchairs. In 2016, they finally decided to use their patent comfort technology to create Purple, the world's most scientific mattress. It's a smart mattress, brother.
The Purple mattress is probably going to feel different than anything you've ever experienced because it uses this brand new material that was developed by an actual rocket scientist, and that's way smarter than either of us. It was not like the memory foam I'm used to. The Purple material feels unique because it's both firm and soft at the same time, so it keeps everything supported while still feeling really comfortable. Plus, it's breathable, so it sleeps cool.
Well, I'm cool, and here's something else that's cool. You get a 100-night risk-free trial. If you're fully satisfied, you can return your mattress for a full refund, backed by a 10-year warranty, free shipping, and returns. You're going to love Purple. And right now, our listeners will get a free Purple pillow with the purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the great free gifts they're offering site-wide.
Just text Awesomeness to 84888. The only way to get this free pillow is to text Awesomeness to 84888. That's AWESOMENESS to 84888.
Hey, we haven't really had a chance to talk about any of the hockey stuff going on, so we should maybe...
Man, I don't even know where to begin because these playoffs...
The Bizarro playoffs, I'm calling them. They're out there, man.
But they're amazing, too.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I mean, they talk about parity in the league, and there clearly is. You know, you think Tampa Bay, who has like one of the best points
62
totals
wins.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. Like, there's no way Columbus has a chance, right? But if you think about it, Columbus picked up, who'd they pick up from Ottawa?
Matt Duchene.
And they picked up somebody else, too.
Oh, Ryan Dzingel.
Thank you. It probably took those guys a while to gel. Yeah. And that team is gelling at the right time, clearly.
Well, the thing is, too, I talked to, John about this a little bit when you were big leaguing us on your vacation. Yeah. That, not to mention the fact that they had to play basically playoff hockey for the last month or so because they were fighting basically right up to the wire to get in. So they're playing with a playoff mentality that entire time, whereas, Tampa had clinched 2-3 weeks before the season was even over, probably more than that, at that point. Maybe was it even more? They were just, there was nothing to play for. There was no urgency. They hadn't had any, and then when, they didn't have to deal with that.
Playoff hunger.
Right.
So that was surprising. Before the playoffs started in the West, I picked St. Louis. In the East, I picked the Islanders. Right now, it doesn't. No, they aren't, and that's not. I'm not saying that's who I wanted to. Obviously, I wanted the Leafs, and in the West, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at it and thinking I'd like San Jose, just because a guy like Joe Thornton, man, it would be great to see him lift the cup.
It would be, but then on the flip side of it, you look at a team like St. Louis, who's been around since the '70s and has been to the finals
since the late '60s, my friend.
Oh, sorry, 6. Yeah, so they've been to the finals, but they've never won it. It'd be nice to see
went
their
to the
loyal
finals
fan
in their
base.
first year.
Yeah, but they've never won. So I mean, it's one of those points too. And San Jose, the same thing. They've been around for 20-something years now, and have never won it. So you got a guy like Joe Thornton, and the team's never won. St. Louis has been around for so long and never won. There's a lot of cool things that could happen here. And then you look at it like kind of on the East. Carolina looks like they're just are rolling 4-line strong
hockey. It's just it's crazy how different playoff hockey is. A team like Carolina can just sneak right in and almost out under everyone's noses.
Right.
They went to the wire with Washington, beat the defending Stanley Cup champions barely, but they did it. I would have. As much as I'm now, my hopes are with Carolina in the East. I hope they go through because I live in North Carolina.
I would like to see it too. Yeah, I would like to see it too. Plus,
Justin Williams.
Yeah, I mean he's a clutch playoff performer. He's always kind of one of those guys. He's there in the regular season, but when the playoffs roll around, he's clutch.
That's what you get him for.
Yeah. So, and then both their goalies are playing good too. So Peter Mrazek has been playing outstanding, and he gets hurt, and now Curtis McElhinney, who hasn't played for a while, steps in. I think he stopped all the shots that he faced in the when he came in relief of Mrazek, and then played great last night when they won. So
I will say, from a storyline perspective, it would have been great to see the Islanders in Washington, though, just because of Trotz.
Yeah,
and the whole upheaval there, it would have made for good story. But I'm hoping Carolina goes through, and I hope they meet San Jose in the finals. So both of my picks won't make it. But
I think about too. Like you were talking about Columbus earlier. You're talking about Columbus earlier as well. Like they had never won a playoff series before. So you got all these cool things happening, right? They win their first series against, the team that was supposed to walk right over them, the Tampa Bay Lightning. They sweep them, win their first series, and now they're up 2-1 against Boston. And you got to be excited if you're a Columbus Blue Jackets fan too, right?
If you are Columbus and you take out the top 2 seeds, and you end up facing Carolina, it could be Columbus and Carolina in the Eastern Conference Finals, which no one, I don't care who you are, and you can't backtrack and say, no one picked that.
Yeah. So, also before...
Don't get me started on the Leafs. Don't get me started.
It's interesting hockey, but I also wanted to let you know before you left that I took it upon myself to rename the pod.
Oh, yeah?
From E&C's Pod of Awesomeness to the Awesomeness Experience. But
that happened.
We've got some backlash over it, so we decided to change it again to the Awesomeness Raiders.
Yes. That actually I like.
Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Well, good for those guys. First of all, for getting up onto the big stage. And, like we said too, we've talked about it in the past, and this is a perfect example of it. There's different levels, and as great as NXT is and as loyal as that fan base is, it is a bigger audience when you step onto the main stage. And there's, there is a difference there with the audience who's watching.
Yeah.
You know, they come out and, they went to NXT, they get all their chants and all those sorts of things. Now they have to restart with that, you know?
It's not quite starting over, but you basically got to, prove your chops again, almost, in a way.
Yeah.
Which can be frustrating, but huge fans of those guys. I really,
they're great. Yeah, they're a great guy. Yeah.
Really like them. When I first heard about that name thing, again, I was on vacation and I was just kind of like off the grid. But I just,
but you caught wind of that. That's how big it was.
I did. I went, the Viking, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure they're just happy to be there, and do their thing. But I don't know who came up with that. I probably have an idea, and man, they should never be allowed to come up with names for anyone again. But I still like the War Machine personally. But I think
some War Raiders before that, right?
But they were the War Machine.
They were War Machine before that.
Yeah. And that to me is the one I really like. I don't know why you just don't call them like the Berserkers.
Yeah, I mean,
just call them the Berserkers. And let them be Warbeard, Hansen, and Rowe. Like, that sounds pretty badass to me. But again, I digress. All that matters is that they're up there now. Their name is much better than the Viking Experience.
Yeah.
Like, when I hear something with the Experience, I picture like the Velveteen Experience. Like, I picture like that type of... When I hear, maybe it's because of Are You Experienced, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and so I attach that vibe to it. But man, I don't know. Yeah. Or it just sounds like a ride at Disney.
Well, when you're talented as well, right? I mean, a name really you can make people forget about the name.
Well, and here's something.
It becomes something that's just what it is.
Absolutely. And the name now is fine, and they're going to do gangbusters, and they're going to kick ass, and it's put it this way. And I distinctly remember this because we watched it together. Survivor Series, like 1990 or 91. Undertaker debuts. Kane the Undertaker, by the way.
Yeah.
When I first heard that name, I went, oh, that's brutal. But nobody thinks about how weird the Undertaker name is now. It just doesn't matter because he made it. And that's what those guys will do. They'll work and all they got to do is work, and they're going to be just fine.
Right. Speaking of names and different things, how do you feel about the Firefly Funhouse there? The Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt.
For you to say.
Yeah.
Man, I think he's just reinventing himself. And I think it's one of those deals that a guy like him can pull off because, and I've said this before, in terms of acting within our, that industry, there's not a lot of great actors in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A promo is different than acting. It's just a different thing. But you can tell the guys who would be able to translate the skills and adapt and really be able to act. And he's one of those guys. So I think he is it looks like he's having fun, and I'm going to guess this was his idea. And I think it's going to be very interesting. And it got to a point where the old character of Bray Wyatt, not through any fault of his own, but that character had gotten stale. And it was only because of how it was written throughout the years. Not his performance in any way or how cool the character was. It was still awesome. It just had kind of run its course. And it could have had a much longer life, but then it is what it is. So I think he saw that and is smart enough to see that and take it and completely flip it on its head.
Right. Yeah. No, he's a talented guy. And I think, like you said, I think it's never, especially when you've been gone away for a while, like he has, it's a perfect time to come back and be something completely different. And, who's to say that at some point he won't go back to that?
Exactly.
But, you have to there has to be some change to keep things fresh. And when you have a guy as talented as him, as far as his connection to whatever character he's playing, he can make those types of things work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun thing to watch, which actually reminds me that Luke Harper requested for his to be released.
Yeah, it was a while ago,
WWE. Right? Yeah, it was, but we haven't actually done one since then.
Huh. Well,
we never talked about it anyway. But and that to me, it's I hope he, no matter where he goes, that he's happy, obviously. But that dude is so talented.
Yeah, he's great.
To the point where, and we've talked about it on here, to me, he was a guy that you could have had work Taker at Mania. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
Big, believable, can move, can work, can play a character. To me, there's nothing that he doesn't do. You know, is he going to be your, poster boy? No, but neither would any of the characters that he plays. I think he could be the guy who could work a Taker at Mania and also safely and believably. So no matter what happens with him, I just I hope he's happy wherever he goes and gets utilized to his potential.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, very talented guy. And like I said, at the end of the day, well, it's the best part of him. But he'll land on his feet no matter what, whether he ends up staying or I'm not sure what his status is. But I've always been of the opinion that you can't hold talent down. Eventually, it'll shine through. And he'll, like you said, he's talented. That wherever he ends up, or whether he stays or whatever, he'll be fine.
Also, within that time, the Hardys worked the Usos, which is, kind of a tag team royalty, brother royalty right there. Brother. Did I say four brothers? Because there's four brothers. But then Jeff got hurt and now surgery. So there's that. Man, it's weird, right? When you hit a certain age, like Jeff is just one of those indestructible guys. But you see at a certain point, after enough bumps and enough of the insanity that Jeff has done over the years, it eventually catches up.
It catches up to him.
It catches up to everybody. So it's a shame. Hopefully he's going to be fine. And most importantly, that his leg's going to be okay. I don't even know what exactly it is. I think it's just leg, right?
Yeah, something with his knee. I think he had said that his knee needs to be, if I'm not mistaken, completely reconstructed.
Ooh,
so,
really?
Yeah, but I think that's what I heard.
Okay.
That's, like I said, I don't quote me 100% on that. That's just what I heard. But, he'll...
Don't quote me, boy. I ain't said shit.
Exactly. He just dropped some NWA knowledge on us all. But yeah, that's going to be a tough one to come back from. But Jeff is Jeff. He'll come back, and he won't compromise anything as far as his performances go. He'll put it all out there just like he always did.
Never does, right?
Right.
Yeah. Kudos. Superstar shakeup happened. I don't even know. Like, I'm
think
pretty
it's still
far
happening.
behind. Is it still happening?
It might be.
Lord.
Yeah, I mean, the superstar shakeup is good. I think it's same thing. You fall into traps of you seeing people working the same people over and over again, in different forms and different matches and week after week, and it's good. I think every year to kind of shake it up and get some fresh matchups and get some people that maybe were feeling like they were kind of stuck in the mud on a certain show, give them a fresh start somewhere else.
I saw one match. I think it's Balor and Andrade, and I was like, "Oh man, that's a great match. That's a match I'd like to see." And
I saw the Good Brothers on Raw this week, which is good to see them on. We should get them on the pod too one of these days. Funny guys.
That needs to happen. There's another match that I thought of, like a combo of people that were on the same show now, and of course now I can't remember. Damn it. It's going to bug me now. Oh.
Well, I mean, we see it already with Seth Rollins and AJ getting ready to wrestle at Money in the Bank. You know,
there you go.
It's kind of a dream match.
It makes me want to punch you in the neck, though. That I can't remember.
Really? Why? Why would you do that?
Because I don't really like you, and it's been a while since we talked, and I just even that just makes me want to punch you in the neck too.
Fuck. I've been doing neck sit-ups.
Oh yeah? How's that working out for you?
Don't worry about it. Just working out just fine. Yeah. My neck's strong.
I'm gonna guess it involves Ricochet. Would have been my guess, but I can't remember. Damn it.
Well, like Ricochet and Ray or something like that?
Well, that's a gimme though. This was one that I was like, oh, that could be interesting, and I can't for the life of me remember.
Whatever.
It might have been involving Black on SmackDown too, because those are two of my guys, right? I don't know.
Yeah. You know, we've been singing the praises of Kofi too on this. Since well before WrestleMania, we even had him on here, and Rocket strapped him to the title. And
we're going to take full credit for that now, huh?
Yeah, and we saw a little, Kevin Owens join the New Day there for a couple weeks, and then do the old turn ski, and it should be a good match too. I think Owens' persona is better suited to be a heel.
Yeah,
and I think it's a good first matchup for Kofi with Kevin Owens coming back fresh from an injury. Hasn't been seen for a while, so should make for a great match. And Kofi is doing a great job, I think, so far, carrying that title.
I agree, and it's just new and it's fresh and it's fun, and
it's just different.
And back to Owens too. He's a guy that has worked himself into a position that when he comes back, it really it means something, and again injects like a certain type of danger onto the show again.
Right.
So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that too. It's actually shaping up to be a heck of a little pay-per-view.
Yeah. Speaking of I don't know what we're speaking of, but I'm just going to get to it. We haven't even mentioned our guest this week. Heath Slater.
I know. Heath, man, the one-man band. He's got kids. He's a one-man band. That's how he got all the kids, because he was on the road with his band, his one-man band.
Yeah.
And, that's what rock stars do, I think.
The Ginger Ninja.
I've never heard that. Did he call himself that?
I think Wade Barrett
make it up?
No, Wade Barrett called him the Ginger Ninja. I wish I made it up.
Backstage or on TV?
I think he said it to him backstage, and I think he said it to him on TV once. He called him the Ginger Ninja.
Well, man, I would have stuck with that handle.
Yeah.
The Ginger Ninja. I wish I could be a redhead just so I could use it for one day.
Yeah. So we got him on here. He was also my NXT rookie. You see how that worked?
That's right. We're gonna have to. We got a lot to chat about with a good old Heath Ski.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it on the show. But he's a good dude, and we've wanted to have him on for a while, and a lot of people have requested him to be on.
Yeah. He's a good dude. He's got a great personality, man. He's a jovial chap.
He is, and we'll talk about his mentality and everything, and how he just seems to make everything he does work, even if he's essentially given nothing at some points. He just somehow makes it work. But we'll talk all about that. Hey, and my better half, the Phoenix
she's announcing now. She's got an announcing gig, huh?
How about Betty? Huh? She's just maybe I'll dip over here, and maybe now I'll just wrestle at WrestleMania for the tag team championships. Now I'll go be an announcer
with
a little
show.
NXT. Yeah.
Must be nice.
Who does she think she is, by the way?
I don't know. She's she's obviously she does whatever she wants, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
So
and now I guess she's the breadwinner too, because I'm just sitting on my duff. So, and I told her keep doing it. I will stay at home, and I have no problem with it.
That's funny. Wow. Yeah, they well, no, good for her. I mean, she's dipped her toes here in the announcing pool here for a little bit, and she's done well with it. So, yeah, she had a good voice to NXT. I'm positive of it. And plus, we rocket strapped her better.
Be interesting to watch, and of course, we rocket strapped her. You know, I rocket strapped her when I married her. So,
well, good for Betty.
Oh, I gotta
good for the Phoenix one. So before we get to Heath, this following ad is paid for by NHTSA. It can be a little frustrating, especially if you're in a hurry or running late, to find yourself at a railway crossing waiting for a train. And if the signals are going and the train is not even there yet, you can feel a little tempted to try and sneak across the tracks.
Well, don't. Ever. Trains are often going a lot faster than you would expect them to be, and they can't stop. Even if the engineer hits the brakes right away, it can take a train over a mile to stop. By that time, what used to be your car is just a crushed hunk of metal, and what used to be you, well, better not to think about that.
The point is, you can't know exactly how quickly the train will arrive. The train can't stop even if it sees you.
If the signals are on, the train is on its way, and you just need to remember one thing. Stop. Trains can't.
And we should probably jump to Heath here, huh?
We should.
The Ginger
Let's
Ninja.
do it. So he's on now.
apparently, our technical difficulties are not quite done yet, Heath.
Oh my goodness!
Don't worry.
Hold on,
man.
we
It's all right.
recorded on this also.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going, man. We're this interview might be 3 minutes long. So
All right, well, take me back.
But you know what, dude? This is the way it should be for the three of us to finally get together and do this. It shouldn't be normal. It should be outside
it
the
never
box.
is normal.
Right?
This makes total sense to me.
It does. And we've wanted to have you on for a while. And we've had, I was telling Jay before you came on, we've had a lot of people request you to be on the show. And
Oh, really now?
yeah, you're a
Yeah, I like
popular
that.
dude. Did you know that?
But in all fairness, you're from a different country. You're from West Virginia.
You're right. I mean,
You have a lot of family. You have a lot of family, a lot of population of Slaters there. So they're probably
everywhere.
Yeah, they're
You ever
everywhere.
watched that South Park episode of the Gingers?
The ginger,
Man, we're like
you're
that
the ginger ninja.
everywhere.
Man. So how you been?
I'm great.
Yeah?
I can't
Doing
complain.
Good.
I just went to a daddy-daughter dance and it was amazing.
Man.
Oh, yeah?
So I follow you on Instagram, and and then we tried for this last week, but we had our technical difficulties, and you said, "Hey, I got a daddy-daughter dance on Friday." I was like, "That is not going to be missed for this podcast. Do not worry."
100%. You said that. Yep.
And I saw the pictures, and I immediately fast forwarded myself. And Lyric will be the first one of my kids, my daughters, to go and do that stuff. And I almost got a tear in my eye seeing those pictures, because I just, you can see how proud on your face, just how proud and happy you are. And, you know, unless you have kids, you don't fully grasp it. You know, it does.
Yeah.
I just
What are you
wish I
drinking?
had 5 more minutes of it.
Are you having sweet tea?
Do what now?
I just heard you take a drink. You drinking sweet tea?
Yeah, I like sweet tea.
Are you
I'm
really
from the
drinking sweet
South.
tea? I know, man.
Huh?
I don't know. I pictured you as a Yoo-hoo guy.
Yoo-hoo?
Yeah.
My kids love Yoo-hoo.
See? I knew it would be
I don't know if they do or not. I don't even think they try, to be honest.
Okay. So the daddy-daughter dance.
Though.
How'd the daddy-daughter dance go? I mean, was it everything you were hoping it would be?
It was one of those things where my wife, she dolled her up, painted her nails, toenails, they went shopping for a little dress, fixed her hair, makeup, lipstick, I mean, the whole 9 yards. And then, I just threw on one of my suits, it looked halfway decent. I mean, it still fits me. So I was like, I look good. I think I look all right. So I got some flowers, all that stuff, making sure, this is how a man's supposed to treat you, sweetheart, I didn't tell her that, but hopefully with my leading and the example that I showed, it worked that way. But it just took my breath away, being honest. Her being so smiley and happy, and she didn't even the smile never left her face. And then she was so proud that I was her dad and introducing me to everybody and taking me everywhere. And then we're eating, and they had chicken nuggets and mac and cheese and green beans, and we drank some water. They said, we went dancing again, and then we was going to do a slow dance. And then they're playing butterfly kisses, and I'm looking around, and the dads are crying, and I'm crying. I'm looking at the DJ. I'm like, come on, man, what the hell, man? It's supposed to be a fun time. I'm crying here. And what really broke my heart was that she looked up at me and said, Daddy, it's okay. And I'm just like, oh, no, it's not, but it is. It was an emotional roller coaster of just happy tears. And just, I don't know, man. It's just hard to explain. You just got to go through it.
Yeah, that DJ is cruel, though, because that song, I guarantee you, as soon as that song hit, every dad just started going, whoa, whoa, trying to get
everybody. I'm looking up in the air, trying not to let the tears fall. And I'm looking at the other dads, and they're doing the same thing.
I got this.
Yeah, and none of us had it, man. None of us had it. We looked down, we just looked at them smiling at us, and we're just like, oh, God, sorry. Can't hold it in no more.
But good stuff. That's like I said, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also not in a way just because, they're so small and sweet and innocent, and I know it's coming. But
it's the best. It's just one of those things to where, we know, we're going to grow up. They're going to do their own life, just like we did and everything. But it's just, we got to get those moments when we can. Cherish them.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially, being on the road, and how difficult that must be to juggle all that. Because that's something that Jay and I we were both retired by the time we had our kids. So how hard is that juggling act?
Well, back whenever I was really booked, it was really hard. It was one of those. it was one of those things where I would leave every Friday, get home every Tuesday morning, tired. I mean, you know how it is, driving, 3-4 hours a night, sleeping all morning, getting up, trying to, eat, hit the gym, all that. Yeah. I mean, you know how it goes. But it's just over and over and over and over and over like that. And then I get home, and then Roz was like, I don't know, 2 the first time, where she tried to block the door on me. And I'm just like, oh, really? God, no. Don't do this. And then when she gets older, I try to explain to her. And then Remy's 4 now. But when she was 2, she'd be like, Daddy, don't go to work. Stay with us type deal, And
yeah,
it is very hard. But thank God now, I'm usually leaving out every Sunday, going to TV to either do main event or nothing else. And then come back home. So I've been having a lot of fun, in the last 6 months.
Yeah, just being able to be dad who still collects a paycheck. That's not a bad thing.
It's not bad. But they gave me a contract. I signed it. Whatever they want to do with me. If I need to work, I'll work. They don't want me to, okay.
Well, now, speaking of contracts, so you signed in what, 2006 with WWE?
Yeah.
Well, who trained you? Who trained you, by the way? Because we have never talked about any of this stuff. Anything we've talked about has always been what's happening now. So, I don't know a lot of how you got in the business.
Well, 2006 is when I got signed. 2003, into 2003, 2004, I started wrestling in Atlanta, Georgia, at the school of WWA 4 underneath Mr. Hughes. Courtesy of Wildcat.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got training from him, training from Abdul the Butcher, trainer from Rocky King, Pistol Pez Watley. All of them was all in the mix, training at that school and everything. But Hughes had his hands on me more than anybody.
Wow. Would not have pegged that at all. Any of those names that you just mentioned.
Did Mr. Hughes take did he take
taught me the basics, how to, work a match, the general, tackle, drop down leapfrogs.
Yeah.
And then after I was, going in Georgia for about 2 years, Crew Jones is his name, a buddy of mine that was popular in Atlanta at the time, and he had a shot at Deep South. And then he pretty much tricked me into going up there to work him when they just needed a baby face for him, pretty much just get beat the hell up. So he pretty much tricked me to get up there. We had the match. Bill DeMont liked me, asked me to come back the following week. So I was like, I guess the guy that comes to TVs and just puts over everybody for about a year. And then I got signed.
Wow. And then
it happened really fast, for being honest. It's like,
yeah,
I never got to go to Japan. I never got to go to Puerto Rico or Mexico or anywhere that I really truly wanted to go to. It was like, I don't know, I just right place, right time, wada boom, wada bam, and it was done.
Yeah.
So who was it that initially saw you that brought you down to, it was FCW at the time, right?
Who was that now?
So who is it how did you originally get on the radar for WWE where, you got signed and brought down to
Bill DeMont, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Bill DeMont in developmental in Georgia, the Deep South territory.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Crew Jones. Hold on, I just said this story.
He did. You did. And Jay clearly wasn't listening, or he was texting. So
having technical difficulties.
Welcome to my world, buddy.
Oh, man. Oh.
I like the story so much I wanted to hear it again.
And here's the great part. We won't edit it out. It's in there. You're going to hear it.
You don't need to. You keep rolling. We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
So shit.
All right. So you've done Deep South now. From there, is it down to FCW?
Deep South happened. I was there for like 6 months, and then the place got shut down. I was just like, "What the hell? What happened?"
But you still got a contract, right? So you go and they open up.
What happened? We're at practice, and next thing you know, they come in and they're like, "Hey, we got a big meeting tonight. Let's everyone come here. Johnny Ace is going to be here with some special guests. Wear a suit, all that stuff." Pretty much, we come there. Next thing you know, Johnny Ace comes in, announces that Deep South, here in Atlanta, Georgia, is shutting down. We need to load everything up in this U-Haul that Nova, Mike Bucci, was driving, Simon Dean, to daggone Tampa. And we all, with the Hooters, had some beers and some food, and he told us to find a place in Tampa. We got 3 months to find the place.
Jeez.
So we were in Tampa for 3 months just having a damn good time.
Yeah, I think I saw a lot of DUI mugshots for around that time.
Thank God I wasn't on one of them, but yeah, there was a lot.
Well, that's why I could say it.
Oh, there were so many. But we were kids living in Tampa, getting paid, doing nothing. And what else we gonna do?
Yeah,
play video games?
You can only work out so long.
Yeah. It was fun, though.
Well, so once that starts back up...
I mean, not exactly.
Man.
I mean, you're not a body guy anyway, right? You basically work off character, so you don't have to worry about the gym.
Well, I mean, you're right. I just eat right and stay halfway looking, decent. but now, I got the dad bod going on, so I got an excuse.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
dad
my whole
bods are in.
gimmick now.
So I'm told anyway.
Temper the expectations, man. Keep them even keel. Then nobody expects too much of you.
Something like that, yeah.
So before Jay started talking about being a body guy, you had mentioned that.
He's such a body guy.
Yeah, right. I know.
That's what I'm saying from experience.
But you said Dr. Tom, got his hands on you, and Dr. Tom is one of those guys who has in some way influenced so many people within the industry in stories that you might not have heard of or you might have forgot or whatever. But like this is a guy that was in on the ground floor and training The Rock.
Oh yeah, I mean countless people.
Yeah,
I mean just countless. I mean, but it's just so crazy how he can just get to your level and understand you and just help you and crack your shell and pull out more that you didn't even know you had. Like, I don't know how he does it, but he has a thing about him, like a hell of a coach. I mean, I can't say nothing bad about him. And hell of a human being.
Yeah.
I mean, he's helped me out a lot too.
Yeah, he's a great dude, and there are some people that just, I mean, he was an amazing talent in the ring too, but there's some people that just have the wiring to be able to get greatness out of people in terms of teaching, and he is one of those guys, and the proof in the pudding with all the people that can say that, Tom has, been involved with, and even for us with the Funkin' Dojo, it was Tom that was in there, hands on and running stuff with us way back when there was no developmental systems or anything. And now he's got a school in Knoxville with the mayor of Knox County.
And I love that. Two great people working together.
Now, I feel like you would fit in really well at a conversation at that table.
Who would?
You.
Oh, my goodness. They just make fun of me the whole damn time. Certainly Glenn. Glenn loves picking on my ass.
All right. So now you're down in Tampa. You're training with Dr. Tom. You're back, and FCW gets up and running. And, how's it go from there?
I was in my prime, I think. That's when I hit my prime, and I got called up too late.
You really think that?
Huh?
You really think that?
I mean, sort of. I mean, I was a man down there. I was rocking and reeling. I was running hot.
Running hot, baby.
Just playing, man. Tag team champ, heavyweight champ, Southern heavyweight champ. My own show, the Happy Hour. Oh, baby. I mean, goodness. They give me just 2 minutes of television time now. I was running the show down there, and it was so much fun. And you know who was backing me? Dr. Tom.
There you go.
Look at that.
Man, he was just like, he's just a hell of a coach. That's all I can say. But damn, he had so much faith in me. And then it made me have confidence. And that's like what I was missing the whole damn time.
Yeah.
Once you get the confidence, man, God, you're like, it's endless. So many guys are missing the confidence, and they just need to find it.
Well, and it can be hard with WWE to get that and find that confidence, because you might not get the opportunity to find it,
That's true. So true.
Yeah, it's a different
There's
beast.
so
But
many guys up there and so much good talent to where it's like, you get lost sometimes. You just got to try to find your way back.
Yep. Yep. That's a good way to put it. And hey, speaking of Dr. Tom, so this is the first thing I'm picturing is you're born 2 decades earlier. You replaced Jimmy Del Rey in Heavenly Bodies.
Heavenly Bodies.
Dude.
Oh, man.
Money.
So we'd be the longest reigning tag champs ever.
You still have your champions.
We still have them.
Yeah.
Sebastian Slater and Dr. Tom. You could be Sexy Sebastian and Dr. Tom, Dr. Desire.
Sexy Sebastian.
Yeah. Smooth, yeah.
I like that.
Because you'd be waxed like a swimmer.
I do have that build, don't I? Nice, long, and lean.
This got weird. You being waxed? Why are you picturing that he's waxed, man?
I don't know. He said he's smooth, so I'm picturing. He's oiled up,
like
actually
smooth.
Oh, smooth, like a smooth operator.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I mean, we can nair each other's back if you want to. I mean, we were doing lap pull downs forever ago.
That's right. Yeah, we'll get to NXT here in a little bit.
Oh my gosh, this is pretty much how I thought this conversation was going to go, though. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. I wouldn't have pitched it. I wouldn't have pitched it any other way. Like for sure.
All right. So after FCW, we're at FCW, and you've been FCW champion, you've been Southern Heavyweight champion, you've been Tag Team champion, you got your own talk show.
Running hot, baby.
Running hot, baby. So now where do you run?
That was a hold on, where did I go? Yeah. well, yeah, I ran the NXT pretty much because the Johnny Ace came down, and well, I went on a couple dark matches, like live events and everything.
Okay.
Like I worked Noble, I worked Jimmy Wayne Yang, which was so much like easy and fun.
Yeah.
Charlie Haas. Dang, I want to say Snitsky once. But yeah, like a couple little, live event shows here and there. But I mean, that's just, them just looking at you and see how you look up there and how you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a little bit of that, but pretty much it was like going right to NXT because most of the guys that were on NXT was getting those live event look at and all that. So yeah, I was running hot forever down there, and then with the NXT.
And that's when they did, where Jay was your storyline mentor.
Yeah, because the original NXT was actually its own separate. Like, I mean, I know it's a brand now, but it was actually a show, kind of like it was like a reality type show where you had some young upstarts trying to crack the roster.
That stuff was crazy.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was nuts. I feel like we were all guinea pigs in the show that they wanted to put out. And then it was like, all right, let's see what we got. And then it's like obstacle courses and carrying a keg around the ring at the fastest time, which I won. A mic promo thing for 1 minute. They just give you a word and you have to try to talk about it right on the spot.
Yeah.
Nerve wracking. I mean, just crazy
or they would
stuff.
just
like what?
Or they would send you the ring and then send you a different opponent or something to that effect.
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So I remember one time you were wrestling, and then I got up to Gorilla to go out with you, and they're like, "Oh no, he's going out by himself." And then I was like, "All right." So you went, and then like I had a match not long after the taping, so I was like, "Oh, I'll go back and get my gear on." So I'm back there. And you're going out there, all of a sudden somebody like runs up to me and says, "Oh, you're supposed to be out there with Heath." I was like, "They just told me that he was going out by himself." "No, you have to go out there." So then they were at Gorilla and they were trying to decide when I was going to go out, and I was like, "Fuck it," I just walked out. I was like, "I'll just walk out during your match, like I'm cheering you on." So I walk out, just start walking down the ramp, clapping my head. So I was like, "Go!"
Hold on, and there's like a huge pop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, they like me.
They like this chin lock. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I must be working this hole good as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah. That was just so funny. Didn't I look at you and say, "Oh, it's about time"?
Yeah. I was like, "Well, sorry. Yeah, sorry I'm late." You said it's about time or something like that.
And didn't you guys end up working during that too? Or was it or you were Jericho maybe?
Yeah, Heath worked Jericho, but but it was funny too. Like we were talking about doing funny stuff. Like they would do these little training videos of us together. And one time they're like, we were joking before about being body guys, but they had us do this like vignette thing or a backstage thing where they didn't working out.
Yep.
And I was trying to coach him through a set of lat pull downs. So to rib Heath, I put the entire rack on. So he's there, he's struggling, trying to get this weight up so he doesn't look like an idiot. And I'm talking to him and he's trying to have a conversation with me. But he came back the next week, he's like, "My back has been sore for a week straight from these lat pull downs because they were so heavy."
I had to try to burn out like 15 whole racks. Well, I never did in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
So then it's like, oh my God, we're live, pal.
Live, pal.
Do it. How did I take through?
I'm going to state it here. You got the worst possible coach possible. I even said possible twice just to underline that.
I would say maybe third best.
Third best. That's a nice backhanded compliment. I like that. But it was from
what was great is that anything I ever needed to know or was curious about, I'd ask him, and he would actually tell me some bullshit answers, and then coming back around and tell me the right shit. Like, messing with me, but then really being like, you didn't believe me, did you? Hey, this is what you really should do. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I should just go and roll up Vince.
He told me to go give Vince a schoolboy.
Yeah, I think he's like, this was back when I was in NXT too. Like, should I? No,
I think he's trying to make up a story to make a point, but
I don't think similar. So. I can hear you saying that. I can absolutely hear you saying that. But it was after the NXT thing. That's when they came up with the Nexus idea, right?
Yes.
Off of the back of that.
That was that was one of those things where I swear I still think to this day something happened to where we all jumped Glenn, in the ring to where every one of us was getting booed, and then from that day on, there was just like eliminations, just go, elimination, and then it was just one of those things where we were in Miami, and Vince called us all in the office, and next thing you know, he was like, I want y'all to be like this pack of wolves, these coyotes, that's just out for blood, this and that. I want y'all to wear these armbands, and I want y'all to do this tonight and that and that. And we're all just like, whoa, really? Is this really happening? Like, this is cool as hell. So we had to like kayfabe the whole damn night, stay in our suits and everything. Last minute, get suited up in our, outfit or gear and everything. And then it was just fireworks.
So it was actually Vince that told all of you guys. You got pulled into his office, and he told the group of you that was going to be the deal.
Yeah, right in his office in Miami. And Michael Hayes was in there. I want to say Laurinaitis was in there.
And I mean, you all have to realize how cool this opportunity is, right? I mean,
we had no idea. Like, literally, we all were just like, this is awesome, but we don't know how it's going to go. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we were nervous. I mean, we were, this is our big shebang here.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thank God it worked, and we all were vicious. I don't know.
That was
we
just
had
it,
that,
man.
And, the stars was lined up that night for us.
But you really did, and he put it in a perfect way. He wanted you to be like a pack of coyotes or a pack of wolves, and that's really what it felt like. I remember being there for it and just thinking, man, this audience is mad right now.
They were throwing drinks at us. I mean, there were people crying.
I think the thing is too, like, it was just the chaos of it all, right? Like, it just seemed so it seemed so unscripted and so just, like it would be if somebody was getting, ambushed. And that was the feel of it. And, you were ripping up everything. You were breaking property. You were doing all kinds of destruction. So, I mean, there was a very real feel to it, which is what made it work.
Oh, man, the good old days.
Well, and here's a quick question, though. Because of having to carry kegs around a damn ring and being given one word to cut a live promo on live TV, like, is there any part, once you guys are doing like these attacks, is there any part of like, damn right, we're gonna tear this up, because that was a really lame show that they just made us do.
100%. I mean, we even added that in the promos. Then like making us change in the broom closets and stuff, because we weren't allowed in the locker room back then. We were literally changing in like, little sideway broom closets. And then, we weren't allowed in the locker room. We had to do these goofy shows like juggling and cutting these promos and carrying a going track and field course type thing. And we used that, too, being like, you treated us like caged animals. You did this, you did that, Well, if you poke the dog too many times, he's going to bite back. So we bit. So come and get it. Like, we used that, and it was just good and raw and real.
Yeah. Yeah, when there's some real involved, then it's gonna feel different, and it really did.
Heck yeah.
So I want to backtrack and don't name any names, but like, so this stuff would never get to me. I never heard that guys weren't changing in locker rooms or things like that. Like, where did that come from? Was it just a general vibe that you guys got, or were you specifically told, like, no, don't change in the locker room?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was something to the fact that when we went into a locker room once, like, I don't want to mention names. They told us to get back out.
Huh.
So we got back out. And then we went to Corano and asked where could we change. And I mean, a couple times we had, like, a nice little dressing room. But then a lot of times we literally was like a damn broom closet and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
but then again, it was one of those things where, like, whatever, I get it. I mean, I'm sure this happened to a lot of other people. I mean, we know stories of other people getting kicked out of the locker room and everything. And we were just new kids on the block. Some people probably looked at us like, man, these kids trying to take our stuff just like everyone else does. But it's just like one of those things that we're like, I feel like we earned most of us earned their keep. So it was like, then we got invited in type deal to be like, we like y'all, come on in.
And like you said, you guys used it, and it really did make it feel like there was, there was
real.
Like Jay said, it was chaos, and it was like unmanufactured.
It was just so much fun to do too. It was just the atmosphere was good.
Throughout all of that, I'm gonna say what I think the highlight is, and then you tell me out of the whole Nexus storyline. Sure, we're all in the ring face to face in Sacramento, and it's actually rumbling, and you can see the camera shaking on Raw. It's like that loud. But I know what the biggest moment is for you. SummerSlam main event, and you get
of course.
Not only that, you pinned me and Jericho back to back in like 2 minutes.
Not even 2 minutes. Quickest ever, man. Legends in one night, back to back in a matter of, I'm guessing, 58 seconds.
58. He's got
that literally. That was I didn't want to say 59, right under one, but I just remember, like, it was really, like, it was so back to back, and then y'all started beating up John.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, no one else can say they've done that.
No, that's true. I mean, I think it's true.
Heck no, I know it's true.
Girl, you know it's true. Little Milli Vanilli there for you, Jay.
That 100%, man. Staples Center, that will still be one of my highlights ever. I mean, ever. And I'm just so glad that, you all put it together, to fit, like, hell, me, Gabriel, and Wade was the last three. And it was just like one of those things where I think I took almost, everyone's comeback. Yep. And, it was just, I felt like it was like a privilege. Like, hell yeah, like, put me in as much as you want. Like, let's do it.
Well, I remember specifically.
Like, the reward to me was pinning you and Jericho, which was awesome. And then me and Brett, it was like one of those things where, like, pretty much I'm the only one that could have touched him and everything. And he just, he's just Bret Hart, like, goodness gracious, It was just so surreal to me. Like, it was just nuts. Like, the best time of my life, being honest.
Well, Jericho and I, being the control freaks we are, I remember being very involved up until we were eliminated from the match. And then I was like, okay, whatever, that they're doing that finish, huh? Okay. And then, but I remember, in putting the match together, thinking Heath's got to do Brett's comeback. No offense to anyone else on the team, but Heath, and maybe, or Gabriel could, do it justice. And Wade could too, but he's a big dude, right? So it fit that. It just felt like you needed to be there for Brett's deal. Yeah.
And I'm just glad, like, Brett trusted me too. So that made it a lot easier also.
Yeah. And how good does that feel? Like when Bret Hart trusts you, to be there for him.
Ah, man, there ain't no word to say. Like, I mean, that's a wrestler's dream, being like, one of the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Trust you in the ring with him. I mean, shit. Thank you for one of the best compliments ever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a good feeling. And Brett's such a good guy. Like he's always been so helpful, and he texts me on Christmas and says Merry Christmas, and he's just a good guy.
I think for our age group, and because I think we fall somewhere in it's a gray area somewhere in there. I think I'm 45. How old are you?
35.
Yeah, so that's within the same kind of demographic of Bret was one of the guys for our generation, without a doubt.
100%.
He was the guy, or him and Sean were kind of like what Flair was to the earlier generation, and I was in that also as well. And Jay and I both watched Flair growing up too, but we also watched Sean and Bret, and I think unanimously, if you go around the locker room, Bret is one of the first guys that will be named.
100%. Yeah, totally. I mean, the name that he gave himself, the whole best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. I mean, it lives up to him. I mean, I don't know if you ever had a bad match. I don't know of one. I'm sure he can tell us some.
Yeah, I think somebody was saying there's one like him and Tom McGee, a dark match that just got found or something on some ladies VHS tape or something out in Alberta. I don't know, but yeah. But throughout the whole Nexus thing, how many times have you won the tag team titles now?
4, 3 with Gabriel and 1 with Terry.
Oh, you and Rhino. Well, we'll get there.
Rhino.
Because you've had to carry him since we finished carrying him. So, and he's heavy.
He has a good part in what he does. It works.
But before you came on, Jay and I talked about the fact that you're a guy that, no matter what you're given, or what character you're playing, whether it's Nexus or whether it's going on from there, sure, it's the core and with the weird spelling and all that, but then the 3-man band and then the 1-man band and then I Got Kids, like you've really found a way to just adapt, and that's hard to do, man.
The only thing I can say is that people want to be the lions in this business and the elephants and the silverbacks. Man, I'm just a chameleon.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, you need to, and that's the thing too. You have to be, you have to be versatile. You have to understand too. There's select few that are at the top and stay there. You have to be able to fit in, and like you're saying, like. You were joking earlier about getting 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of TV time, but you make the most of those minutes and you make them memorable. Like, you went out probably with not a lot of TV time and hit the line, I Got Kids, boom, you've now reinvented something. Because that resonated
so crazy
with people.
Because that whole promo was with Brock and, Paul. Yeah. And Paul was just spitting at me, and literally, when you have such a long promo and, you don't remember everything. So I'm just like, well, gotta have lived a little bit. Just started spitting back. And it worked because it was raw and real.
Yeah.
And then, thank God, he said a few more lines to get me back on page. But yeah, the whole, I got kids, I need this job. Then I told him, I said, everyone knows you're going to get my ass beat. I said, but I have to do this.
Oh man.
So
yeah, but it happens. But yeah,
and also
man.
Well, you also had that string like where when everybody was coming back and you were, I don't know, I remember you taking Lita's Moonsault, and didn't you take a What else did you take, and how
Man,
cool was that for
I
you?
took everything from every walking legend that they could find. I took the Vader bomb. I took Sid Vicious power bomb.
Ooh.
I took Rakishi's Yoko.
Face.
Boom.
Yeah.
And the stank face.
Nice.
Roddy Piper poked me in my eyes. Cyndi Lauper busted a gold record over my head, which she signed and sent to me and apologized, and she was so damn sweet.
Are you serious? Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. Steph has it hanging up on her collage wall, and I'm just like, yep, there's some blood on there, too. That sugar glass, man, it really cuts you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But and then Road Warrior Animal, DDP, Bob Backlund. I beat up Doink, but it was really Brawler. So, you know.
They had to keep you hot.
It was just one of those things where it was just like, and then we topped it off with Raw 1000 with Lita, and then APA came out, and I tried to run away, and all the legends came out, and then I ran back in. I got Clothesline from Hell.
Yeah.
And moonsaulted.
So out of all of that, and out of all of those moves, because now we're talking about people that might not have been in a ring for a while, that might not have hit their finisher in a while, that might be just, a tad, let's just say rusty.
Yeah.
What was the worst one to take? And in no way a commentary on the person, just like what was the toughest move to take and what was like there? Because I'm going to guess that Clothesline from Hell was there.
Oh, no, that Clothesline from Hell was surely, it was there. I mean, I stood up on my head. I did a headstand.
Not by choice.
The funny thing about that is that Road Dogg comes up to me and says, "Hey, before you walk out, tell JBL not to be a pussy and lay it in." I looked at him. I said, "I am not going to tell him that." I was like, I'm not going to tell him that. And then when I walked by, I smacked JBL on his butt, and he just looked at me and laughed. I said, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
No, I already know. And me and JBL have a great relationship. He's always been good to me.
Yeah, but even just making that that became like a spot on the show where people look forward to it every week, and it wasn't a match. It was just a thing, a feel good kind of thing. But it had to be cool too, being a lifelong wrestling fan, to have all these people, these wrestlers that you grew up.
I was living my childhood dream.
Yeah. It's amazing, right?
I still remember watching, WCW and the early WCW where Vader came in with that big old mastodon helmet thing.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him then, and I was, 10, maybe, and just being like, oh my gosh, and Sid Vicious too, like him coming out, him wrestling like Sting and everything, to where it was just like being scared of these guys as a kid, and then their music hitting, and they're coming out to the ring, and I'm just inside, I'm just, oh my goodness, I'm that kid again, just being like, this is amazing. And then, of course I have, act scared where, a little bit I was, but it was great. So good. And honestly, the Vader bomb, man, woo, that one stuck too.
Yeah.
Funny story. This is a funny story. So we're in the back with Vader, me, Rotundo, and Vader sitting there going over the match. Vader sitting there talking about, I can hit the power bomb. I can maybe go to the top and do the moonsault. He said that. My eyes just got big as hell. And he's bending over, tying his boots and everything. I look at Rotundo and I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, come on, man.
Say something, Mike.
And then
Say something, Mike. Kill this.
Dude, that's 100% what I was thinking in my head the whole time. Just like, Mike, please, man, come on, And thank God he was like, no, I think the Vader bomb, got to be perfect, this and that. And I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. Even when we walked out, I was like, Mike, thank you for saying that. Because, he might have been able to do it. But then again, that's me underneath there looking up at Big Van Vader trying to do a moonsault.
Yeah, he might not have been able to, too.
That's just it. He might have, landed right on me, like, really bad. Oh, but yeah, like, I remember my heart just pounding, like, Mike, please say something, please. And then he finally said, "Oh, that'll probably be good." That was when I took that big deep breath out, like,
And so after all of that, is that when the 3-man band thing came around, and how did that all come about?
Well, it was one of those things where I was doing, still the whole one-man band, and then Vince was like, well, I wasn't even doing the one-man band. Oh, no, that was before all that. I was doing, like, Vince had this big thing about, you're going to be the one-man rock band. Next week, you're the one-man Southern rock band. Next week, you're just going to be the one-man rock band again. Like, there was weeks and weeks and weeks where I'm switching my names where everyone's scratching their head being like, what the hell is he?
You could have been the one-man experience.
Yeah, that, too. That was. And then, next thing you know, from there, it was just the one-man band. And then from, I went to Michael. I was like, Michael, man, I need a band. Like, I need to start up a band. Like, think of this idea. So I pitched this idea. But the guys that I pitched for was Ambrose, Fandango, and EC3. At the time, Ambrose was in developmental. Dango was on NXT being Johnny Curtis. And Hutter was on NXT being, Mike Hutter. So I pitched those ideas, and they said, Ambrose, no, we have something for him. Dango, no, we have something for him. And then I was like, well, what about Hutter? They're like, no. I said, why not? And they're just like, no. I'm like, well, okay. And then, like, shortly after that, he got released. So, next thing you know, they just give me Drew and Gender, and it's like it's like a bad joke. Like, a daggone a Scotsman, a daggone Indian, and a redneck walks into a bar. Like, what the hell? So Gender wasn't really doing nothing, so he just was like, yeah, whatever. But Drew was about to kill somebody because he just was like, what the hell? You kidding me? I'm the chosen one, and I'm going to be in a rock band? So Drew was flipping out a little bit, and then, like, he came to terms of being like, well, we have to do this. Only thing in life I ever wanted to be was a rock star and a wrestler, so I get to do both.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how it happened. I pitched my ideas. They said, hell no, here you go.
Yeah, but somehow you guys made it entertaining. Like, I think, too, that, like, the way that it was with the different dynamic between all three of you guys kind of made it work better, that you didn't really fit,
I agree, too. Like, it was one of those things where we thought we were going to be cool, like Motley Crue, rocking out, getting girls, whooping ass, stage diving, all this cool stuff. And then it was nothing like that. And we were just like, well, I guess, we're the comedy act. And then as they knew, I remember Drew and Gender always being like, man, we got to try to keep up with you in this. What the hell? And you know me, I just don't care. I'll just go out there and do whatever. If you want to be a rock star, I'll be it. Like, let's do it. But it was just one of those things where it was like we all just thrown off a little bit. Like, I was just like, whoa, this is my band? All right, how are we going to do this? And then, Drew's in his level and Gender's doing his thing. But the good thing about it is, like, when we went overseas, we were, the people loved us. Whenever we were in southern states, they loved us. Like, we had, like, a lot of those dynamics and everything, pulling for us. We in Canada, they loved Gender up there. So it was like, we grabbed a lot of attention, we were together for like 2 years and we didn't even get one T-shirt. That would have sold out overseas for sure.
Wow. 2 years. And then
2 years.
It was shortly after that Drew left, right?
Yeah, Drew and Gender left.
That's right.
And then I was there I was again, just on that lonesome road again.
He's back to one.
So lonely,
trying to find myself.
So lonely that you actually became friends with Rhino.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Some good buddies.
Yeah.
Now, We always
yeah,
bust.
but after 3 on B, I was in Social Outcast with Henning, Taylor, and Adam
yeah.
Rose.
That's
Whoa.
right. Yeah.
And then that we were trying
Really
to be
are a
like, like
chameleon.
a NWO version of DX, being that cocky cool type group, but we were supposed to be Social Outcast, but they didn't want us to be Social Outcast. So I was just like, thinking about, we're Social Outcasts, which should be like the Flock, something like that.
Yeah.
But then they were like, no, we want y'all to be, talking and have promo saves and being energetic and this and that. I'm like, why'd you give us the name of Social Outcast? So I don't know. The thing is just confusing a little bit.
Okay, so after
that,
social,
we got to do the Marine movie, Marine 5
you
or
did.
something.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
How was that
You filmed
experience?
that out in Vancouver?
Yeah, heck yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. Just new to you. Just you get new nerves and you're like, oh my gosh, how you doing a little movie here? It's kind of cool. I got to be a badass biker guy now. Like if they saw my character, they know the badass don't really work unless it was 10 years ago.
So how did you find the differences and what similarities?
But what, wrestling and acting?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same, sort of. You might have to memorize, lines and, to the direct point and everything more in the movies, but like in wrestling, it's like, you get a script, you study it, you do it, and hopefully, it works out good. The difference to me was like in the movies, you can do that over and 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 over again until you get it right. And wrestling is like, hey man, it's one or done, type deal. That to me was the difference, but it was just, I don't know, you just have to, creatively like find, I was Cash, of the badass of this biker gang, so I had to find this badass character named Cash in my head somehow and try to portray it.
Yeah.
But to me, there was just a lot of similarities. Just with the whole, soap opera build of both and what you should do and what you should say and how you should move and the whole, you have to get like 40 different camera angles in the movies where in wrestling you have, the hard cam and 2 other on the floor.
Yeah.
It's just, it's similarities but different, but I enjoy both.
So how did you feel coming back to wrestling after that? And like, because let's face it, on a movie set, you're pretty pampered. And,
you are pampered.
And in wrestling, you're not as much.
Yeah, not at all.
Maybe some are. I don't know. I go back and see people with their own dressing rooms now, but
that happens. Yeah.
But I digress. Yeah. And so you come back and how was it like kind of assimilating back into the wrestling thing?
I literally just didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I literally changed my mind to, all right, I'm wrestling again. It was just one of those things where
right?
I'm not, the schedule, you know how it is, you know how grueling it is. So you just get wired that way and you just keep going. But then again, the 35 days I had off was off. I had the family up there. Roz was only like 3. Remy was about to turn 2.
Oh, wow.
It was just good to have them up there the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to see Vancouver. Vancouver's,
a heck of a city
there too. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and it's very kid friendly.
Yeah, it's just a great city. Period. Mountains, ocean. Yeah. It's all there. So, but eventually, the I got kids thing starts happening. You're teaming with Rhino, and I remember watching at that point and just thinking, this is great. Like it was just really fun to watch, and I think like everybody on some level could relate to it. It had a very Dusty Rhodes vibe to it, but like anybody who has kids gets like, man, I got kids. That's why I'm doing this. How did that
it was a very, very good, like, it was a good story. Like you don't really get too many like very, very good stories anymore to where like people are actually interested. like you said, like people can relate to. Well, hell, this is why I work my job. I need to. I got kids. I need this job type deal. So it was one of those, average Joes, a wrestler. He's got kids. He has to work, to provide for his kids. It just had a very good story to it. And it was just one of those things to where, it was like before that, I didn't even get drafted. I did that whole free agent thing. And I was on both shows, which was awesome. And, working my way up to trying to wrestle all these guys to get this job and everything. And they said, Rhino came and saved the day. And we entered that tournament, became tag champs.
First SmackDown tag champs, right? Once they split the brands back up.
First ever. That's
Was that
right
actually a thing where they kind of forgot to draft you, or was that was it a storyline?
I'm pretty sure JBL pitched it.
Oh yeah,
and told me to react. So I did, and then I pitched the whole free agent thing. Because I think they were originally just going to be like, "Don't worry, we'll put it on the internet that you're at SmackDown." I'm like, "No, hell no!" I said, "Man, you got something here." Like, lights went off on me. They did a .com story at the end about me storming out, yelling, being like, "What the hell? You forgot about somebody." I said, "Let this be like a light in the fire underneath my ass. Like, I want someone to draft me. Let me prove to you that I can," type deal. And I said, "Dude, I'll get shirts made that says free agent. Just have me cut promos. Let me have some matches. We can just let me go back to Raw and SmackDown." This thing, I talked to Ed about it, and they said, I was in my car leaving, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do that." So I just started getting on social media, being like, "Free agent, who wants to book me?" I was tagging ROH and people, just being like, "Who wants to book me?" Like, I don't have a job, type deal, and it was just funny. And then you got on all the dirt sheets. It caught fire. They went with it, and next thing you know, Arn Anderson looked at me and said that he would not be my tag team partner, and I was down in the dumps, and Rhino came and put his hand on my shoulder and helped me out.
How was it? And how was it teaming with Rhino? Because here's a guy that I think he's 22 years in the business now, and
23, I think.
He's seen everything. He's experienced everything there is to experience. He's worked in WCW. He's worked in ECW. He's worked, in WWE. So how much fun did you guys have together, and how much did you like? I mean, you're a veteran also, but I mean, a guy like that, there's got to be some stuff that you take away from it, good and bad.
Yeah, there's. I mean, we all know how he is. He has a schedule. He has to stick to it. He's that kind of driven. But he has the most kindest heart you can find. He's one of those, gentle giants type, not even giant. He's just a gentle big man. But he taught me like one of those things, like how it was back in the day type things. That's what he would always like to talk about. Back in the day. Hey, back in the day we did this way. He always wants to talk about staying at the Red Roofs, and he loves the Waffle Houses. And, back in the day, he liked to, get down and party a little bit, but now he's been sober for, 20 years or something, 19 years or something. Maybe, I don't know, whichever.
Yeah.
But
it's been a while.
It's like one of those things, it's been a while. But it's just one of those things where, he would talk to me about everything, and, he has a daughter also. So, we would talk about family stuff and everything. And, he loves to talk and drive. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. And the good thing about him is a conversation that should really take 5 minutes with him takes 45 minutes. So it does kill a lot of time.
Short. Anyways,
bro.
Make a long story short.
Yeah. It's kind of like this podcast.
All the time. To make a long story short, I'm like, bro, it's just going to be longer every time you say that.
Exactly.
Yeah. But he's one of those, I can honestly say, awesome heart, hard worker, dedicated. But, he's stuck in his ways. He is stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
He's like that old man, just, this is how I am. Take me if you like it, whatever. I don't care.
And it's so weird because, we met him when he was a kid. We were kids too, but we named him Rhino. So to see him become this surly,
Yeah.
somewhat cantankerous, stuck in his way, grizzled old timer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Dude,
Wear
playing
shorts in the
fitness
dead of
every
winter.
morning, man.
Begging him to put some pants on in wintertime. Jeez.
Yeah, he can. He just runs hot, man. He's got that rhino smooth skin.
Back to smooth.
Yeah.
Well,
I
man,
guess
we
that-
know you got kids, and
Oh, yeah.
they're going to be up early, and we've kept you a little while now, and it's getting late. And I got 2 kids that are going to be up early too.
Yeah.
What's
Jay's got a
your
kid
wake
that's
up time?
So here it varies, right? So like Beth was gone, and Ruby came in the room last night, and I rolled over and I put my arm around her, and I didn't realize she had gotten into the bed, and that was at 4:30. That's pretty rare, though. That's pretty rare. They both sleep, in their beds for the most part, but sometimes when one of us leaves, one night they'll come in just because I guess they're weirded out, right? But it's generally 6:30. Generally it's 6:30, but it's always me they wake up. It's always
6:30 is my wake up call too.
Yep.
Just because I have to get up.
You need
what was that?
Is it always you? Is it always you they wake up?
Well, it's like one of those things where Ross has school Monday through Friday, so I have to be up at 6:30 regardless.
Yeah.
So getting up, Steph always goes and gets her ready for school. I'm downstairs packing her lunch, making her breakfast. It's one of those things, and then we take her to school and all of that. But yeah, 6:30 is my wake up time every time I'm home until the weekends, and then they come and get in bed with you, by 7. The sun's up, now we're up. Let's get up.
Yeah.
I'm like, go back to bed.
Man,
work like that.
I don't know. For whatever reason, it's always da da da. And I'm like, just say mama one morning. Just one.
Right? You start whispering to him, say mama.
Say mama. Say mama.
Say mama.
But I'm also one of those.
Doesn't it make you feel good, though? They come to daddy.
It's amazing. As soon as I hear that, I'm like right up, and then I'm like up. There's no going back to sleep. It's just I'm right up and in it, and working
It's
my
awake
body
and
going
and
back to
making
sleep.
breakfast, and
It's awake and running. That's the speed. So
But yeah, saying all of that, we'll let you get going so that because you got to be up early.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you for having me, though.
All right,
Yeah,
buddy.
man. Thanks for coming on. It's a lot of laughs.
Hey, for sure. Jay, come on, man. Get your equipment fixed up, man.
I will. Don't worry, man. I
work.
got you next time. Don't worry about me. Worry about hitting those lat pull downs tomorrow at the gym.
Yeah. I'll take a video and send it to you so I can prove to you I'm doing them. The whole
Thanks,
damn
buddy.
rack.
Yeah, man.
All
All
right.
right,
bud.
see you, boys.
See you,
Good
buddy.
talk, man.
All right, bye-bye.
He's a good dude. That was it was a lot of fun to talk to him. He's one of those guys too where you realize that at some point he's been there for so many years, but he's got longevity, and that's the key in the business is to be able to stick around for a long time and reinvent yourself. And he's done that a lot.
That was one of the things as we were talking. I was like, oh yeah, he did that too, and that, and it just. Again, he always finds a way to make something work, and there's something to be said for that, man. It's very similar to guys like Hawkins and Ryder, who always find a way to make things work, and take what they're given and run as far as they can with it.
Yeah, and love the business, and that's why they're able to do it. Yeah, these fucking
we
Marks
didn't
are
get into
clever
the
back.
Leafs. We didn't get into the Leafs, and the fact that I'm probably right
they're
on the
gone.
goaltending situation. But
but you know what though? It's like a couple weeks over now, so it's like backtrack. Can't even go back. We'll have to talk about it next season.
I know, but it's making you hot anyway. Because we disagree on this, hosers. We disagree on this.
Whatever. I don't want to hear it.
All right. All right. I don't want to hear you anymore.
All right, later, Marks. Here we go.